This is the Manga Xanadu Manga Dome podcast. I am your host, Laurie Henderson. Join me on this journey into the world of manga, where a river of reviews flow through caverns of commentary down into the latest news. Welcome to the Manga Dome. Episode 43, Year of the Horse. The Weekly Wish List. Kodansha, Viz, and Yen Press hold all my attention this week. There's only one title from Kodansha I'm interested in, Attack on Titan Volume 11. This is the last of the monthly releases, as the US is now caught up with Japan, and the next volume, number 12, will be released in March. Viz has a couple more titles I want. Inuyasha was one of the first manga titles I bought in English, but I was disappointed that they were left to right. Viz fixed that with their Viz Big Edition. The final volume, 18, comes out this week. I love the first volume of Magi and bought volumes 2 and 3 during the Viz manga sale. Volume 4 is out this week. I also enjoyed voiceover Seiyu Academy. Volume 3 comes out, though I still need Volume 2. Yen Press has a few titles I enjoy. Durarara was a title that had to grow on me, but now that it has, I have to have all the volumes. Durarara Saika Volume 3 is out now. Yen Press is also trying to kill me with the omnibuses. Higurashi When They Cry, Volume 24, Festival Accompanying Act, Part 3, and Umineko When They Cry, Volume 5, Banquet of the Golden Witch, Part 1, both come out this week. Those things are huge! VizManga.com update. Over at Viz Manga, they didn't have a top 10 list per se, but what they call their top January releases. It looks more like a regular top 10, so I'm just going to read it like one anyway. Still sitting pretty at number 1 is Naruto Volume 64. Phoenix Volume 1 comes in at number 2, despite a higher price. Knights of the Zodiac Volume 3 moves up 1 to number 3, while Strobe Edge Volume 8 returns after 1 week off at number 4. Also returning are Rurouni Kenshin Restoration Volume 2 at number 5, and Siren Volume 14 at number 6. Yu Yu Hakusho loses its top 5 spot with Volume 14 coming in at number 7, followed by Muyo and Roji's Bureau of Supernatural Investigation, Volume 10 at number 8. The final volume of Gimmick, Volume 9, comes in at number 9, and Skip Beat, Volume 30, ends the list at number 10. I'm not sure why Viz didn't call this a top 10 like normal. I'm skeptical about the top January releases title. It includes titles that may be strong sellers but aren't necessarily at the top. Muyo and Roji's Bureau of Supernatural Investigation is a perfect example since it hasn't charted since Volume 2 or 3, I think. A monthly top seller list should be more about the series than the individual volumes, especially for titles such as Yu Yu Hakusho and Skip Beat, whose volumes chart every week, but it is often a different one. The New York Times bestseller list. The New York Times bestseller list has seen a small shakeup thanks to some Yen Press new releases. For the week ending January 25th, 2014, the number 1 title doesn't change for a third week as Naruto Volume 64 hangs around. Black Butler returns with its newest volume as Volume 16 comes in at number 2. Hanging on for its third week also is Monster Musume Volume 2 at number 3. The second Yen Press title, No Matter How I Look at It, It's You Guys' Fault I'm Not Popular, Volume 2, comes in at number 4, followed by Attack on Titan Volume 1 at number 5. Attack on Titan Volume 10 falls back 3 to number 6, while Fairy Tail Volume 34 comes in at number 7. Also debuting is Dictatorial Grimoire Volume 2 at number 8, while Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal Volume 4 falls back 5 to number 9, and Nisekoi Volume 1 also falls back 4 to come in at number 10. The Kodansha and Viz titles are both nothing new and no surprise. Yen Press's Black Butler debuting isn't a surprise either. I am surprised by No Matter How I Look at It returning. I wasn't impressed with the first volume. I still can't believe Monster Musume is doing so well, but I am glad to see Dictatorial Grimoire chart with its second volume. I really need to get Volume 1. Con season has barely started and already the licenses are starting to roll in. I may have to start a new feature just for Crunchyroll. This last week they added another 4 new titles to their streaming service. Action Man is the favorite superhero TV series of Shin-chan from the manga Crayon Shin-chan. It starts when a boy goes searching for a serial assailant who is attacking children. When he is attacked himself, he is saved by a masked man. Meta manga has its problems, but this one might not be so bad since its premise is pretty normal. King's Game Origin tells the origin story of the popular mobile phone novel King's Game. It's a survival horror that takes place 30 years in the past when one villager in the village of Yonaki receives a black envelope with instructions that must be obeyed or the entire populace will suffer. I'm not a fan of survival horror. Those two words turn me off of most titles. Orange is a shoujo manga with a bit of a sci-fi twist. A boy receives a letter from himself from 10 years in the future, urging himself to take steps to keep from reliving his regrets of losing Kakeru. This one has an interesting ring to it, and it's a shoujo, which has been rare on the site so far. Recollector has a strange premise. A man calling himself God appears before amnesiac high school teacher Kanade Natsume. God promises to help Natsume get his memories back. The story is a mystery romance. I'm on the fence about this one. It sounds a little on the weird side for me. As is the norm now with Crunchyroll, new chapters now, older chapters sometime later. Seven Seas has a license announcement for Dance of the Vampire Bund fans. They will be releasing 2 doujinshis by the creator of the series that were previously only available at Comic-Con, Japan's major comic convention, in individual issues. Forgotten Tales is 192 pages of previously uncollected manga with some bonus material to be added. Secret Chronicle will have 280 pages of previously unpublished canonical short stories. The first book will be available in June of this year. Vertigo released its first license of the new year over the Anime News Network's podcast, Ancast. Ed Chavez announced Tonari no Seki-kun, a comedy manga for release this fall. The story revolves around a girl named Yokoi who sits next to a boy known only as Seki-kun. Instead of paying attention in class, Seki-kun creates detailed distractions on his desk, such as a detailed golf course or a dramatic war fought through paper shoji pieces. The title sounds very strange and eclectic, and I can't wait to read it. Year of the Horse. The Chinese New Year has come early this year, and with the New Year comes a new animal in the Eastern Zodiac. This year is the Year of the Horse. For 5 years now, I've looked for manga that is about or features prominently the year's zodiac animal. I had to do a lot of thinking to come up with titles in English with horses, and even stretched it to include some mythical horse types. But they've got 4 legs and hooves, so they count, right? The purest of titles is Fruits Basket. The story is based around the legend of the Chinese zodiac, with 12 members of the Soma family being cursed to turn into one of the animals. The horse of the Somas is Isuzu. She shows up in volume 13. Like most of the Soma family, she has a tragic past, having been abused both physically and emotionally by her parents. She is aggressive and unkind, but also loyal and emotional. She is cynical of Toru's optimism and has only let one person get close to her, Haru, though she was chased away from him by Akito. All 23 volumes were released by Tokyo Pop, but are out of print now. Therme Rome is a comedy manga about Roman bath architect Lucius, who can travel through time to modern Japan. On one visit to modern Japan, Lucius helps a mare whose owner couldn't give her the proper care she needed. The mare becomes infatuated with Lucius, with hearts appearing over her head when she sees him. This new love interest for Lucius only makes a funny manga funnier. It is available from Yen Press in deluxe hardcover 2-in-1 omnibus editions. Moving on to the mythical, let's start with some Western mythics. The hero of Knights of the Zodiac, Saint Seiya, is the holder of the bronze Pegasus armor. He and his cohorts fight to protect the goddess Athena in the human form of Seiya. Other horse-like cloths in the series include the Unicorn and Sagittarius, the Centaur Archer gold armor that Seiya gets to borrow every once in a while, usually after getting beat up really bad. It's published by Viz Media, and all 28 volumes are available in print and has just started coming out digitally. From the same creator comes a series based on Eastern mythical creatures. Beat X is about brash Tempe, who tries to rescue his brother from the Machine Empire and ends up partnered with the Beat X, an artificial intelligent mechanoid in the shape of a Kirin, often called a Chinese unicorn. The series wasn't as popular as Saint Seiya, but Tokyo Pop did manage to release all 16 volumes. It's now out of print. Another title to feature a Kirin was Pet Shop of Horrors, where he is shown as a kingmaker, helping Hitler rise to power in World War II. This same Kirin crossed over along with D to another Matsuri Akino series, Genju no Seiza. Here he has more of a role as Soki, the only beast not under the control of the Holy King, but still has the role of kingmaker. I love Soki. He is funny and capricious, as you would expect from a holy creature, but I also really liked the Hitler story. Both titles were published by Tokyopop, and both are out of print, though only Pet Shop of Horrors was published completely. The final mythical horse-like creature is the centaur. The first centaur manga to get an official English translation was Hataraki Kentaros from J-Manga. This one-volume title by the well-known BL creator Est M is about centaurs trying to be salarymen in the human workplace. It's a humorous premise, but is also out of print and unavailable. A more recent title is A Centaur's Life from Seven Seas Entertainment. It is a slice of life about Himeno, a teenage centaur, and her everyday life at school and with her other supernatural friends. There are currently 2 volumes available. Know of any other titles that feature horses or their mythical close relatives? Leave me a comment and let me know. Thank you for listening to the Manga Xanadu Manga Dome podcast. You can find links to the stories and books discussed here in the show notes at manga.jdragononline.com. You can email me with any questions at xanadu@jdragononline.com or leave a comment on this post. Rate me on YouTube and follow me on Twitter at Manga Xanadu, all one word. Until next time, farewell from the Manga Dome.